Good morning. Good morning. Just read a couple of comments. Four Leaf, glad to hear you're feeling better. Miss Divine, that's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear. Not so good news. I'm out here if you need anything, doll. Anything I have that can help you, you just let me know. Matter of fact, just send me your address, Laura. Send me your address. Let me send you a little something, something. Please. Whatever I send, you know, is going to be helpful. You got it, doll. Please send me your address. That'll prompt me to get something going right away to you. Okay? Classic, you take it easy. Hip replacement checkup. You take it easy there. Good morning, Wazzy and Sandy and Joe and Dee and Mushy and the whole team. Good morning. Good morning, Mushy. I put 2 packages in one box. One's for you and one's for the other. For our friend. Good morning, everybody. Woo woo! Classic. I don't know if Jolie's on listening yet. She's a quiet lurker until there's something really nice to say. But if you were on the IG chat group, sounds like Miss Jolie had a lovely afternoon. Right, Sanam, you were tracking with me. Derek, she never left her apartment. What are you talking about, Derek? Good morning, Paigey and Marky Z. 29-17 is the score right now. Good morning. 29-17. 29 people. 31-18. 31-18. Can we bring the 18 up closer to 31? All you gotta do is double tap the screen. Mark Z says it's working. Bill D uses a hammer to double tap his screen. Did you know that, Kim? He uses a hammer. And then he's like, how come I have a cracked screen? Good morning. You keep pops on your screen long enough and then something's gonna crack. Something's gonna crack. Good morning, Cleanie and Niffy. (32-24). Not bad. Michael in third. Derek Anderson, of all people, you would know better. Good morning, Sam. Trip and Vic. Trip and Vic, you guys say hello to Trip and Vic. We haven't seen her in a minute. Nice to see you, doll. I keep using that word. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying to stop. It's ingrained in me, Kim. Good morning, Deborah. What a pearl. Good morning. Trip, it's nice to see you. Yes, indeed. I hope your son's doing well, too. There everybody is. Good morning. Give it another couple of minutes of hugging and getting set in your folding chairs. Call him Dolly. I like that. Dolly. Hello, Dolly. Yeah. And now it's regular doll. I don't do Dolly, do I? But I'm kind of overdolled. Can't help it. Good morning. Thank you, Deborah. Sid rocks. There he is, Siddy. Nicky, I agree. There's only one Dolly. I agree. The way our celebrities are dropping like flies right now. Dolly, please stick around for a while. Please. Dolly, don't go anywhere. Gotcha, paranoid. Gotcha. I know, Trip, they're basically flies right now. Good morning. It cracked me up. Where was it? I was listening to a comedian or something the other day. And funny line. I probably won't say it again correctly, but he said, I'm really getting into those true crime shows. Anybody into the true crime shows? I like them. I have them on late at night. I think I've seen everyone there is, and like I'm on repeat mode already. I'm like, wait a minute, I know how this one ends. The guy climbs in the window. I do the true crime shows, kind of 2020, Dateline. I get a little carried away on those. The true crime shows, they're too real for Kim. I sort of watch the true crime shows. So unless you watch the true crime shows, you like Joe Kenda, is that right, Derek? Those were pretty good. There's a whole story about that actor, though. The actor that played Joe Kenda when he was younger on the show. Joe himself is himself at the old age, but when they do the recreations, the actor that played Joe Kenda, go do a little deep dive on him as an actor. The couple of shenanigans that he had pulled right before he got that role. And I was kind of bummed to hear that about him because I liked him. But then he got a little, I'll try to remember I'll send it to you, Derek. I'll send you a link. Okay? And this guy pulled some shenanigans on other actors. What was the name of it? Mom Detectives or something like that. So, anyways, long story short. If you watch those detective shows, true crime shows, don't be the person that comes in the room and lights the room up with your smile. Don't be that one. How come everybody... Don't be the one. Don't laugh. Do you get it? Do you get it? How come everyone is Don't be the one that comes in the room and lights up the room just with their smile. Okay? How come every single person that gets picked off in one of those shows is the person that lit up the room with a smile? Okay? I know you do, Niffy, but it's like, obviously the comedian did a better job of it than I'm doing right now, but he warns you, Sam, don't be the one that comes in, because you're the target. You're gonna be the one that goes. A freaking ray of sunshine. Okay. Oh. I stopped lighting up the room as soon as I put that together. Two things: don't move towards the light. Don't move towards the light. And don't be the one that lights up the whole room with your smile. You got a chance of living a little longer. That's the way it is. Okay. I mean, obviously you're not going to speak ill of the dead. That's a bad thing to do. But by the same token, why is everybody the ray of sunshine that we've lost for the rest of our lives? It was like, how come none of them are like, it's kind of good riddance. That guy was kind of a pain in the ass. If the serial killer didn't do it, I was going to do it. Okay, how come you never hear that one? Okay. Okay, I'm moving on. You guys are not interested in that. Not a problem. Humans, we're such monkeys. Oh, that's neat, Niffy. Neat. That's really neat. Good for you. That's lovely, Angel. Absolutely lovely. Do car batteries discharge faster if we leave them on a concrete floor? Aren't you always supposed to put something underneath the car battery so the battery isn't touching the concrete? Is that a thing? We're not supposed to have the battery touch the concrete floor, or it discharges faster or something, right? Yeah, you guys all fell for that myth. You guys all fell for that one. Early batteries might have had a discharge problem, but this is due to being susceptible to moisture on the floor. Modern batteries have an impermeable polycarbonate cases that protect them from any moisture. You don't have to worry about it anymore, you guys. Okay? You don't have to worry. I got you on that one. I got you there. Okay? I'm looking for other fun ones. Okay. How about this one? When an event with equal probability outcomes, we're using as an example flipping a coin. It has an equal probability of either being a head or a tail. If it comes out the same way several times in succession, the other outcome is more likely next time. You're building up the odds Is that a true statement? Flip, flip, flip. And the more I flip tails, pretty soon it's increasing my odds to get ahead. I wish it did. I wish it did, but it doesn't work that way. This misconception is known as the gambler's fallacy. And it often happens to people betting in a casino. For example, on a roulette wheel, if red comes up 7 times in a row, the majority of people believe that black will come up next. However, that's wrong, because statistical independence still holds, meaning that red still has the same probability of coming out again as black does. Every single spin, every single flip, it's still 50-50. You don't get to build up the odds. Okay? Doesn't work. How about this one? We've all heard of the professional athletes. They're usually boxers that I hear about. Maybe an MMA guy. But other athletes, high-level athletes, do you perform better if you withhold having sex for 2 weeks before your athletic event? Have they scientifically proven that? You'll perform better if you're not performing. Is that true or is that false? Okay? Which do you think it is, true or false? I'll read you the answer. Having sex in the days leading up to a sporting event is detrimental to performance. False. Actually, studies show that having sex prior to sporting events can elevate the levels of testosterone in males, which will help increase overall performance. Get after it, dudes. Get after it. Isn't that funny, though? That's a myth, because I've heard that all my life. I've heard my whole life, you gotta hold back on that situation right there. You got a match coming up. Next thing you know, they're like, no, right before you leave the locker room. Right before you leave the locker room. It's like, really? HP says, listen, hon, it's science. We're doing it for the win. Okay? Coach, I think the coaches make that up because they aren't getting any. I don't know. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Nurs is here. Thank you for being here this morning, Nurs. It's taken me a couple of days to put together that Nurs is Carolyn S. I received, and I want to thank her, I received a really, really interesting book from Carolyn. It's called Man's Search for Meaning. As you can see, I'm already tearing it up. I've had it for a couple of days, and I'm already... Let me show you. I'm already that far through. Pops likes to read. Pops likes to read. Let me read one little There's all kinds of this stuff in the book. Okay? But let me read this to you. It is such a fresh perspective. Don't you love fresh perspectives? When you get this new information, new knowledge. Remember that I call it just selfish facts that I'll have in my head if I don't share them. I don't like selfish facts, I share. This little subject is called the meaning of life. The meaning of life. I doubt whether a doctor can answer this question in general terms. For the meaning of life differs from man to man, woman to woman, from day to day, and from hour to hour. What matters, therefore, is not the meaning of life in general, but rather the specific meaning of a person's life at a given moment. Isn't that good? What's my meaning of life? What's your specific meaning of your life right now in a given moment? To put the question in general terms would be comparable to the question posed to a chess champion. Tell me, master, what is the best move in the world? There simply is no such thing as the best or even a good move apart from a particular situation in a game and the particular personality of one's opponent. The same holds for human existence. One should not search for an abstract meaning of life. Everyone has his own specific vocation or mission in life to carry out an assignment which demands fulfillment. Therein, he cannot be replaced, nor can his life be replaced. Thus, everyone's task is as unique as is his specific opportunity to implement it. I want to say that again. Thus, everyone's task is as unique as his specific opportunity to implement it. As each situation in life represents a challenge to a man, woman, and presents a problem for him to solve, the question of the meaning of life may actually be reversed. Ultimately, man should not ask what the meaning of his life is, but rather must recognize that it is he who is asked. In a word, each man is questioned by life, and he can only answer to life by answering for his own life. To live, he can only respond by being responsible. It goes on and on. There's more good stuff. This book is chock full of neat stuff. But that one right there got to me. I thought I have to read this to the crew. We do spend this weird esoteric, what's the meaning of my life? And that's exact opposite of the real question. The real question is, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with it in this particular moment? Which goes back to our fourth agreement, right, HB? Always do your best. Good morning, Mary Jane. Okay, I don't do politics here. You guys know that. We're not political. So what I'm about to read to you has nothing to do with quote-unquote politics. Okay? What it has to do Okay, wait a minute. That article's not coming up here. That article is not coming up. I'll make a copy of it and read it tomorrow. It's very neat. It's talking about the current administration and how pro-psychedelic our current administration is. And it lists for us a number of the people in the administration, their roles in the administration, and what their perspective on legalizing psychedelics for therapy, what their opinion is. It's really neat. Taking all politics to the side, I'm not being Republican, Democrat, red, blue, purple, independent, nothing. No politics in this. It's just, we really are going to be, I'm going to be pleased to see us continue to move towards legalization. And we're seeing it actually faster right now and more aggressively, excuse me, at the federal government level than the actual states. The states are struggling to catch up with the federal government right now. So, and then there are some states that are doing a really neat work. Massachusetts is trying super hard to pull something in that get past the assembly and past their lawmakers and onto the ballot. And they're this close. Let me give you an example. A recent legislative hearing in Massachusetts featured testimony on 4 of the 12 psychedelic-related bills that have been filed this year. They have 12 bills that have been filed this year. Mississippi lawmakers are holding a hearing in August to decide whether an ibogaine bill should be introduced at their next session. Oregon Health Authority posted the recordings and summaries from the latest round of Oregon Psilocybin Services listening sessions. Healing Breakthrough, that's the name of a company, is inviting psychedelic advocates to participate in their newest grassroots initiative. There is also Emory University. Emory University, I might have mentioned this to you once. They are recruiting participants for a study to understand the nature of post-psychedelic challenges. Post-psychedelic challenges. Emory University, you can look this one up. There's applications online. If they approve you, they also pay you a stipend for being involved in the study. So those of you that are willing to be Emory University's lab rats, that's something I would be willing to look at. Filament Health is partnering with the University College of London for 2 unusual trials using its botanical psilocybin drug candidate. Enveric Biosciences secured a second U.S. patent for its mescaline-derived compounds. Pretty good. Compass Pathways. If you remember last week, I mentioned that there's 7 psychedelic stocks that are being touted as probably good investments based off of what the financial advisors are saying, and should see significant returns in the next 3 to 4 years. And the number 1 on that list is Compass Pathway. Compass Pathway. We here, I don't want to tell too much, but know this, that the Detroit Mush Lab, in many of its formations, different names and organizations, have been involved with Compass Pathway. We'll not have to say more than that, but to date, based off of our interrelating and providing some of the services, and they doing some of the things for us, they are located, they have Canadian roots and British, United Kingdom roots. Nerdy. Compass Pathways. So far, incredibly impressed with them and their management. So far. And that's why it's interesting to see that they, in Q2 of this last year, 2025, they have reported spending, $60,000 on lobbying efforts. In terms of lobbying money, that's not a lot. But in terms of trying to bring to legislators to start listening to and talking to and discussing and being open to some of this psychedelic assisted therapy business, I think at the end of the day, that's money well spent. 60,000, that wouldn't go very far. That's a couple of plane tickets and a hotel stay in Washington, D.C. and taking one guy out to dinner. You know what I mean? That's like not a ton of money compared to what lobby, it doesn't sound like a whole lot's going in anybody's pocket. Naropa is spinning off Memoru Center, its Center for Psychedelic Facilitation Training, Clinical Care, and Research. Okay? Education for All. The Ohio State University launched a psychedelic certificate program for non-clinicians. You could join. Doesn't that sound awesome, Nerdy? I don't know what the cost of a curriculum would be, but that sounds pretty cool. That sounds like something, if I was 40 years old, I would be looking at that. Michelle, you want me to repeat that? Let me see where it is. The Center for Psychedelic Drug Research and Education at The Ohio State University launches a university-level psychedelic certificate program for non-clinicians. The Certificate in Interdisciplinary Psychedelic Studies addresses the critical gap in psychedelic education for students, professionals, and curious learners. The Center for Psychedelic Drug Research and Education at the Ohio State University has launched the certificate program. It's the first accessible university-level psychedelic education program designed specifically for non-clinical audiences. The program went live June 15th, 2025, with early enrollment demonstrating how strong a demand there is from diverse learners. Unlike existing psychedelic education programs that primarily target licensed clinicians, CIPS is designed to serve undergraduate and graduate students in adjacent fields, as well as healthcare professionals, legal practitioners, and others seeking evidence-based knowledge about psychedelics. The self-paced online certificate, sign me up, addresses a critical educational gap in the rapidly evolving psychedelic field. Most psychedelic education programs are designed for people who already have clinical licenses. But there's a huge population of students, professionals, and curious learners who need foundational knowledge about these substances, said Dr. Alan K. Davis, the director of SIPS. SIPS provides that essential foundation, whether you're a pre-med student exploring career paths, a nurse wanting to understand emerging treatments, or simply someone curious about the science behind psychedelics. You know what you're going to see? You're going to start seeing lawyers take certificate programs like this. Lawyers. So they can defend, and they can also be involved in amending the laws. You're going to start seeing lawyers in programs like this. Our program offers a highly accessible entry point that combines university-level rigor with the flexibility busy people need to learn about this fascinating and important field. CIPS comprises 5 comprehensive courses. I feel like I'm doing a commercial here for them, but isn't this exciting? We thought University of Irvine was working on getting something going, show us how to do one of these programs, and University of Ohio is already doing it, right? Comprises 5 comprehensive courses. Biology of Psychedelics, which explores neurobiological mechanisms and the ecological relationships of psychedelic-producing organisms. Next course, History of Psychedelics. Hey, we teach that one here. History of Psychedelic traces cultural origins and the evolving relationship between psychedelics, science, and medicine. The third course, Ethics of Psychedelics, examines bioethics, informed consent, and patient safety challenges. And their next course, Psychedelics in Diverse Populations. It investigates practices across BIPOC and queer communities and barriers to research diversity. And then finally, Therapeutic Applications covers the historical development, current protocols, and healthcare integration challenges. The approximately 20-hour certificate requires completion of all 5 units and passing associated quizzes with an 80% or higher. The program costs $12,000. The program costs $250. $250, nerdy. With an early bird discount currently available. $250. I lied when I said the $12K. I wanted to shock you. That's affordable. The online program self-paced format makes university-level psychedelic education accessible to students and professionals nationwide who can't commit to multi-week in-person intensive programs. Most comparable programs require intensive in-person commitments or clinical credentials, leaving a significant educational gap. We're seeing strong interest from the students at universities across the country, as well as professionals in healthcare, legal, I told you so, and business fields, who recognize that psychedelic literacy is becoming increasingly important in their work. Davis noted, I know, Kimberly, isn't that a great deal? The flexibility of our online format removes geographic and scheduling barriers that have prevented many people from accessing quality education about psychedelics. Early enrollment shows participation from undergraduate and graduate students, pre-health and pre-med students, healthcare adjacent professionals, including nurses and social workers, legal professionals working in drug policy, and family members of people that are using psychedelics therapeutically. Hey man, I want to know what's going on. Why is this working for my wife? More information about the certificate is available, and they give you a link right here in the article. The program requires a reliable internet connection and is optimized for Google Chrome or Firefox browsers. Students have flexible time frames to complete coursework within the self-paced format. The SIP registration fees support ongoing research and education programs. For enrollment questions, contact, and they give you a link here. I'm going to put that on my IG page later today. Okay? I'm going to put that on my IG page. This sounds like something, it's almost, Michal said it, it's almost too good to be true, but I think it's true. For $250, you get a 20-hour course, self-paced course in all of these disciplines, and you walk away with a complete new brain filled with knowledge. And who knows what kind of contacts and what kind of networking you can accomplish in the same situation. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Ohio State University is one of the largest universities in the United States, with nearly 65,000 students across its Columbus campus and regional locations. Ohio State is a leading public research university known for its comprehensive academic programs and commitment to innovation in education and research. Joe Dees says he lives about 5 miles away from there, a few minutes away. Sounds like you don't even need to get in your car to go to this deal. Give me 5 people that sounded interesting. And then look at my IG page later today. It'll be a link to how you can get there and, reach out and find out what's going on with it. $250 does not sound, that sounds like something you could save $50 a month for the next 5 months and get ready to go in the program. Am I right? Very interesting. We're going to have about 15 of us here. Well, did you get the certificate? Yeah, did you get yours? Well, I'm in the middle of my coursework right now. So, congratulations. Okay, Joe. Okay, gotcha. Rodman, healing vibes going your way from everybody. Michelle, what? It's T. What is my my IG? Let me tell you what my IG is. Wait. Ooh. Okay, let me tell you what my IG is. Okay, it's tea time underscore with underscore pops. Tea time underscore with underscore pops. No, I don't do Facebook. I don't do TikTok. I'm only on IG and YouTube here. And most of you have noticed I've really slowed down my IG posting. I love my IG page because it keeps me in contact with you all. But I really slowed down on the posting. It's my internal boycott of IG. It's almost like they don't deserve my content. Deserve, there goes that word again. But it's almost like, why am I going to give them my free content and not get treated very well by the platform? The platform doesn't really respect people like me. Now, if I was showing, everything but my nipples and flashing and doing all this, dirty naughty, well, IG would love me. They promote my page. Right now, they shadow ban me. They're lurking, waiting to frickin' delete me again, etc. And I'm not taking it personal. Believe me when I say this. That's just the way it is. It's just what's getting there. It's just what's going on out there. IG doesn't care for healthcare providers, especially those that are providing are advocating for psilocybin-assisted therapy. Okay? Support my dances. I'm not kidding you. They haven't grown my page by 3 subscribers in 6 months. What? Are you kidding me? I know new followers are coming. No, you don't get anybody new. No, you've been stuck on 237 for 8 months. It's like, you guys are liars. Like, no way. Like, how come I haven't grown like by one follower in 8 months? It used to be you can get like 100, a view. No, they have me on lockdown. So, you know what? Lock you, buddy. Not taking it personal. I'm just like, why spend my effort and time there and get you guys, more content? So you can sit there and waved Damocles' sword over my head. IG's pretty bad, Nippy, I gotta tell you. And then they track your comments in our comment page when we're talking back and forth to each other. All of that's tracked, you guys. Don't think, oh, we're over in DM, so we can say stuff. That's exactly what they're doing, is they're watching your DMs. And then we're in there talking, oh, and then we get ounces, and we do this, and we do that, man, and then we... It's like, it's not a good place to do that. We're better off doing it live on YouTube. Live on YouTube, they've never shut me down for anything I've done or said live. The only thing that they've shut me down for is copyright violations. If I play someone else's music, then I didn't realize it was copyrighted. That's when they'll slap you. But other than that, YouTube's like, go for it. Okay, go for it. Humility. You guys need me to knock on wood? Okay. Okay. We talked about pride. Me saying that I think it's a good thing to have pride. Okay? Then we talked about hubris. Hubris borders on narcissism and is actually, I mean, they're first cousins, kissing cousins. Hubris is the exact opposite of humility. It's hard to be humble sometimes, isn't it, you guys? And not only because you think you're such a big deal, but because we also have, in our culture, we have this weird picture that's been given to us of what humble looks like. Humble looks meek. Humble looks a little mousy. Humble looks like, yeah, you could kick sand in my face. Do you know the strongest guy in the world is the guy that doesn't have to throw a punch back? That was never me. I was the weak one. You could get me to throw. You could get me going, and I'm throwing. That isn't very humble. It takes more courage and strength to be humble than it could ever be to be a hubristic or narcissistic. Those guys are operating in fear and shame. Humility is coming from self-acceptance. You just accept what you are. You don't have to be asking what's your place in the universe, like they said in this book earlier. Just ask to be asked, what can I add to the universe? What small piece can I add to this universe? How can I help? She says, I'm ending this section with humility to give you something more uplifting. While the origin of the word hubris is Greek and was used to describe a pride and ambition so great that they offended the gods and leads to one's downfall, humility comes from the Latin word humilitas, meaning, wait for this, humilitas. Good morning, Dill. The word humilitas in Latin means grounded, firmly planted. Humility is a quieter but more genuine and ultimately so much more powerful than hubris. And as with pride, we've got it a lot wrong. I just said that. Humility. Humility is the openness to learn, to new learning, combined with a balance and an accurate assessment of our contributions, including our strengths, imperfections, and opportunities for growth. Can I say that again? This is what a humble person looks like. That they are open to new learning, combined with a balance and accurate assessment of your own contributions. Those contributions include your strengths, and they include imperfections, and they include being aware of your opportunities for growth. A humble person is balanced, grounded. They know that they're contributing, and they know there's opportunity for them to continue to contribute and continue to grow. Have a good day, Michelle. I can sum up humility with one sentence that emerged from the research. Dare to lead. I'm here to get it right, not to be right. Oh God, I got goosebumps. Literally goosebumps up and down my leg right now. I try to tell you guys this. Dare to lead. But when you're leading, you're not there to get it right. Excuse me, you are there to get it right, not to be right. I need everybody's help to get things right. Sometimes my thinking's not straight. I need the balanced opinion of a whole group. I'm not always the right one, but I want to get it right. What humility isn't, we have this weird concept of, give you an example. Back in a church that I was involved in years ago, fundamental church. This church, you weren't allowed to take credit for anything. You didn't get credit. If something wonderful happened, say somebody sang a beautiful song, or you planted a garden for an older woman that couldn't do it. So a group of guys got together. We're going to go do build a garden day. After one of these accomplishments, if somebody came up to you and said, you sounded great today. That music was awesome. Well, you worked hard in the garden. That was awesome. You weren't allowed to say, hey, thank you. Take credit for it, even in a kind way. You're supposed to say, the Lord gets all the credit. That's right, Billy D. It's not me. It's Jesus through me. Well, that's not me. It's the Holy Spirit in me. It was gag me with a spoon humility. We all gagged each other. And it became cultural. In that group, you gag. You knew right away if you were going to tell somebody a compliment that you're expecting them to give Jesus the credit. No, not for 1 second am I saying Jesus doesn't deserve a lot of credit for stuff, and I'm not being we're not doing religion. I'm just talking about the creepiness. It was like a toxic humility, nerdy. It really was. I look back on it, and I was like, gag me. That's such a phony, what a bunch of phony balonies. What humility isn't is downplaying yourself or your own accomplishments. Did you hear what I just said? The researchers are telling us that, not just Bob's. Humility is not downplaying yourself or your accomplishments, which according to researchers is modesty, not humility. That's more a form of modesty. It's also not low self-esteem or meekness or letting people walk all over you. That is not humility. The emotion of humility involves understanding our contributions in context. I'm not that big a deal, but I'm kind of a small one. I'm adding a little something to the pot. I'm not the whole pot. I don't want to be. I don't want everybody to look, oh, look at the big pot guy. No. But I can tell you I'm adding a little something, something. And I'm proud of it. That's mental wellness. Versus you're working your ass off and you have to give Jesus the credit. The emotion of humility involves understanding our contribution in context, in relation to both the contribution of others and of our own place in the universe. A truly humble person recognizes the contribution of others. Gives them credit. You want to be in a group or in an environment where you give each other credit and you're allowed to take a little. You don't give it away to some higher power and grab nothing for yourself. That's toxic, it's phony, it's cultish. You're allowed to have accomplishments. But you're balanced and you recognize this is my contribution and there's room for more. I think a humble person knows there's always room for more. There are very little laurels sitting back and saying, I accomplished that, but there's room for more. In pride, we feel pride. We focus entirely on the positive aspects of a specific accomplishment. You got the gold medal, baby. You outworked us all. You outran us all. You outthrew us all. You outjumped us all. Not only am I proud of you, but you should be proud of yourself. The term intellectual humility refers specifically. Do you guys like this? Is this landing? Is this landing in your landing zone? Thank you, V-Berry. I hope this is landing. We've been perverted in our society to, you can't take credit, that's not humble. You know what humble is? Humble's understanding what my relationship to the universe is. Understanding what I've contributed and understanding there's room for more. The term intellectual, thank you, nerdy. Intellectual humility refers specifically to a willingness to consider information that doesn't fit with our current thinking. What? You mean I could have been wrong? What? I'm getting new information that doesn't fit into my current thinking. To be open to that is intellectual humility. That's an area I've grown in probably more in the last 5 years than almost any other area except kindness and patience. Intellectual humility, I do not know it all. I don't even come close. And when I get new information, I'm willing to change my mind now. I'm not stuck in my pattern. I'm not stuck in my programs or my concepts. And I am finding out how wrong I had it for a long time. Intellectual humility. There will be something in this new book that I got from nerds. There will be something in there that's going to spark my brain and head me in a whole nother direction. Because I'm learning. I'll learn until the day I die. People who demonstrate intellectual humility, wait for this one. If you demonstrate intellectual humility, that doesn't mean typically that person doesn't lack confidence or conviction. Just because I have intellectual humility doesn't mean I'm not confident in some of the things I do and believe. But I'm open. It doesn't mean that I don't have convictions of my belief, because I do. You guys can see them. But I'm also open to them being different. I'm open to new ideas. Here's the one I'm working on mostly. Well, you can only do mushrooms if it's a natural fruit off of the cake. No, there's actually scientists that are coming up with pills, synthesizing it and stuff like that, and it's going to work for other patients. And I need to have intellectual humility to accept that. These people may hold strong views, but they're open to hearing other points of view. They are curious and willing to adjust their beliefs when faced with new or conflicting information. Humility allows us to admit when we are wrong. When we are wrong. A truly humble person is able to say, I blew it. I was wrong on that one. And you really don't have a lot of room to go back. When somebody says they're wrong, you can't keep saying, but you were wrong. I'm telling you, you were wrong. I was like, bro, I just told you I was wrong. Yeah, and then you were also wrong. It was like telling someone you were wrong when you are, and you do it with the kindness and the humility. It stops all of the crap. It shifts. All the momentum, all the vibes shift. I was wrong. Give me a chance to fix that. Can I do that again? No! You were wrong! I might be avoiding that guy soon. We realize that getting it right is more important than needing to prove that we're right. The old pops, Mr. Prover himself. I'm going to prove to you. I don't have anything to prove anymore. Especially to you. The only one I got to worry about proving stuff to is me. Being impeccable is my first start. If I'm impeccable today, I've already proven to myself all I need for growth. The other 3 steps automatically follow. And at the end of the day, with true humility, I can say, I followed my 4 agreements today. I'm proud of myself. I'm not that big a deal. It was just 4 little steps. But I did them today. I'm here to get it right, not to be right. Good stuff. Good stuff. 4 things. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take things personal. Don't have expectations. I'm going to add a 4.5 today. 3.5. Be proud and be humble. And number 4, do your best. Be proud. Pops, how can I be proud and humble at the same time? We just learned how. But you don't want to be as hubristic. Have a great day, you guys. I'll see you here tomorrow. I have had a wonderful, wonderful morning here with you guys. I don't know why, but today felt great. Maybe it was the goosebumps that I got, but today felt amazing. And I want to thank each and every one of you for that. Thank you. Freddie Hukel, and Marky Z, and Niffy Mom, and HB, and Marky Z, and Kimberly. We love you too, just the way you are. HB and Mike Parball, and HB and Niffy. Niffy, you're beautiful. Brian C. and Cleany. There you go, Clean. Nerdy and Derek Anderson and Mark Zamron, Herbie Von Werby Kabah, and 4-Leaf, and HB and Nippy, and Kimberly, thank you, I thought it was. Mike Barball and Sammy P. Sammy P's here for the same reason I am. HB and Nerdy, and Joe D's and Billy D and Derek Anderson. Jesus Christ, knock off the hissy fits. Hissy. Jesus Christ in Australia, I love that guy. Mark Zamora, Married Michael. Laura, have a divine day. Make sure I get your address, doll. Billy D, Clean Grow. 100 people, thank you. 4-Leaf and Mike Baraball. HB, Jolie. Good morning, Jolie. We were hoping you had a great afternoon yesterday. Jesus Christ and Laura Divine. Kimberly. It does sort of feel Friday-ish, doesn't it? Clean Grown Nersey, great book. I really, really like it. Good choice. Nippy, thank you, sweetie. Cleaning, Derek Anderson, Michael, Sean T. Patterson. He strikes me as a humble guy. Jesus Christ, Trenty. Paige and Mushmouth, love you, and Mike, and Donnie Fike, and Laura, and Cat Meowzilla, and Deborah the Pearl. Jesus Christ, and Nippy, and Herbie, and Derek, and Mr. Phillips, and Mernon, 4-Leaf, Michael, and Third, Bill D, Joe D, Sanum, Susu Little, Jesus Christ, Mike Baraball, Herbie Von Werby Kabah, Mark Z, HB, 100 people, Married with Michael, HB, Joe D's, and Michael, Pops, peace. Be proud. Be humble. Be kind. Be nature.